Getting out of debt isn't easy for anyone, and it even becomes more difficult when you are on a low income. How can you get out of debt when you don't even have enough to cover your essential expenses? Thus, instead of getting out, you simply sink in deeper by taking in more debts. Maybe you keep asking, how can you be free from all these? Because being debt-free also means freedom. You can actually pay off your debt even if you're not earning so much money, but not without making some financial changes first. If you want to be free from debt, here are 7 unbreakable rules for escaping debt. Applying these rules will help you get out of debt for good. Face your fears. The first step to solving a problem is accepting the fact that there is a problem and finding ways to solve it. To escape debt, you need to analyze your finances and ensure you are not spending more than your earnings. What should you do? Clear out your table. Spread out your loan statements, bank statements, bills, and anything that's linked to your finances, and then start calculating. You might be surprised by what you'll discover. Nevertheless, you can't keep pushing it away. You need to face the realities of your finances. Note down the exact amount you earn each month after the deduction of your taxes. Thereafter, begin to track down all your expenses, both the minor and the major ones. None of it should be excluded. They are all important. You must understand where every dollar goes. To obtain a more reliable result, it is advisable you do these calculations for 3 consecutive months. If the total monthly expenses exceed your net income, then you have to either change your lifestyle significantly, get an additional source of income, or file for bankruptcy, as the case may be. If you're not willing to make a significant change, you might never get out of debt anytime soon. Pay more than the minimum. You can quickly get rid of your debts if you will pay more than the minimum every month. If all you do is pay the exact amount that needs to be paid, you've successfully slowed down your progress. Making minimum payments is a slow and expensive way to pay back debt. Take a look at your credit card statements. Is there a way you can reduce the payment duration by paying more than the minimum? Of course, yes. Discuss this with your account officer and be intentional about it. That is, deliberately work towards that each month. Just a few more dollars will go a long way. It does not have to be a huge sum. You might want to ask, how do you pay more when you're not earning more? It's so simple, by simply cutting out on a non-essential expense. It could be a minor monthly subscription or eating out less. It could be deciding not to get new clothes for the next 6 months. As simple as it may sound, when you divert the money on paying your debts, you're already paying more than the minimum. This can shorten your repayment period by a year or 2. Adopt a debt payoff plan. Now that you have analyzed your finances and you know that you need to pay more than the minimum payment, the next vital step is to come up with a payoff plan. A good plan will help you stay focused. It will also help you track your progress. Should you have more than one loan to pay back? There are 2 popular debt payoff plans that you can adopt. You have the debt snowball method and the debt avalanche method. They are effective plans that accelerate multiple debt repayments. The snowball method demands that you start with the smallest debt and finish it up before moving to the bigger ones. For instance, you may have a $6,000 credit card balance, a $2,000 car loan, and a student loan of about $10,000. Using the snowball method, you would have to pay the car loan first, since it has the lowest balance. This method helps you to focus on one debt at a time instead of multiple debts. Although there are a few disadvantages to this method, it tends to be more expensive in the long run because you might end up paying a higher interest rate on other neglected debts. In this case, you can try the second option, the debt avalanche method. This method involves making minimum payments on all your outstanding debts, then using any of the remaining money set aside for your debts to pay off the loan with the highest interest rate. This seems to be more feasible and attainable. Irrespective of the approach you take, the goal is to choose a plan or create yours and stick to it. Refinance your debt. Refinancing your loan simply means taking out a new loan to offset other existing loans. This is also known as a debt consolidation loan because it allows you to combine those debts into one new loan. To escape debt quickly, you can decide to refinance your debt at a lower interest rate. Refinancing is an opportunity to change the terms and conditions associated with your debts. And should you eventually get a good refinance loan with a lower rate, you will save more money eventually and pay up faster. It could be a loan to refinance your mortgage or a personal loan. Nevertheless, qualifying for a new loan is often based on your credit score, income, and your current loan-to-value ratio. However, before applying, you need to check your credit score. Decide what type of loan you want and compare different lenders' rates and terms. And after application, just before you conclude the deal, take a moment to add up the new loan's interest and fees and compare them to your existing loan to determine whether refinancing will lower your monthly payments or save you money in the long term. If it isn't worth it, let go of it. Divert that extra cash to your debt. This is a simple act of discipline that can help you escape debt. Anytime you get extra cash, no matter how little, divert it into paying off your debt. Extra cash is a sum of money you never expected to have. There are several ways we all get some extra cash here and there. It could be a raise in your salary, a bonus from work, a cash gift from a friend, a price reduction in what you intend to buy at the mall, and so on. Rather than spending it on your long list of needs, divert it immediately into paying off your loans. Also, learning to live by a budget will help you save more cash. Instead of leaving the money in your account, put it into your debt payoff. Every extra cash is not an avenue for you to buy more. You need to think about your debt first in every situation. Taking on a frugal lifestyle will also help you have more money to put into your debt. Every day should not be for eating out. Try homemade food to keep more money in your pocket. This constraint will not only help you pay your debt quickly, but it will also help you have a wholesome financial life after you become debt-free. Have multiple streams of income. There's no doubt about it. Your income determines how fast you cover your debt. Earning an extra income can help you pay off your debt faster. Making more money achieves two things. First, you'll no longer have to rely on your credit cards to make ends meet. Second, you'll have more money to pay down your debt. Think of devoting some of your free time each week to earning an extra income. This, of course, depends on your career situation, your skill set, and the amount of free time you have outside of work. You can increase your income by taking on a second job, doing freelance work, selling things on eBay or Craigslist, making money from a hobby, doing odd jobs, or starting a small business. But whether you pick up extra hours at work, take a part-time job, or start a lucrative side hustle, there are many options to make extra money. Having multiple streams of income is not as difficult as you might think. In fact, it has become easier than it used to be 20 years ago. You can take on a part-time job. If you are already doing this and still need more grounds to cover your debt, then you can use the passive income generation method. You can earn money without being actively involved in the process. All you have to do is to look at the one that will thrive in your environment and get to it. You can turn your hobbies into an income generation method. Whatever method you choose, once you start earning, endeavor to use it in offsetting your debt and not acquire more liabilities. Always revisit your budget. Warren Buffett said, "It's very tempting to spend more than you earn. It's very understandable, but it's not a good idea." Once you start making more money through your multiple sources of income, be careful not to fall into compulsive shopping. The goal is to pay off debt and not increase your standard of living. If you increase your expenditures, you will soon find yourself in debt again because you can end up spending more than you earn. To guide against this, you must always re-examine your budget. Look at each item in your spending plan and arrange them based on their level of importance. Ask yourself questions like, do I need or want this product? This will help you stay focused and guide you against falling into debt again. Keep your budget at a close range so you can frequently check to see if you are following through. You can adjust your budget to accommodate the extra income you earn and properly allocate it for paying off your debt. Always evaluate your budget at the end of every month to help you plan better for the next month. Make sure your budget goes in line with your financial goals. Accumulating debt is not a good idea. The effect of debt on your physical and psychological well-being cannot be overemphasized. Debt can lead to stress, anxiety, and depression. Financial stress can trigger habits such as overdrinking and drug abuse. Debt hinders you from working towards your retirement. While trying to pay off your debt, experts advise that you put off all savings to focus on debt repayment. This means that your focus will be on clearing the mess from the past while you neglect the future. You will not be able to put any money or sufficient money into your retirement account while you deal with debt repayment. Your savings will be a mess, and you will not be able to make worthwhile investments. If you don't want to end up in that situation, your priority should be to pay off your debts and stay out of debt for good. To avoid incurring more debt, do not reach for your credit card at every opportunity to spend. Worse still, debt reduces your net worth. Every debt you owe is a liability. It reduces your net worth by reducing your ability to invest, save, and acquire tangible assets. To increase your net worth, you must increase your assets by saving, investing, and reducing your liabilities. That is, you should try to reduce the amount of money you owe. If you can do this, you will be wealthy. These rules are practical and effective. Though they may require you to be more disciplined and step out of your comfort zone, being in debt isn't comfortable anyway. Becoming debt-free gives you freedom and peace. When you are debt-free, you will be able to plan your life better and focus on your goals. With debt out of the way, you can save more and invest in more profitable ventures. You won't have to overwork yourself. It is not enough to note these rules. You must also take the necessary actions if you want to be debt-free. Thanks for watching.